Hello everyone, can all of you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey. So in today's session, we are going to discuss a few problem solving session on sequence and series, and we'll also discuss a few things about the chapter for more detailing of the same. Right. So we'll start with a few very simple questions, let's suppose.
पता है
इतना डांस बचपन में
मुझे
Hmm. Question. In an AP, if S of 2n is equal to 3 times of S of n, then find the value of S of 3n by S of n. So, well, how do we solve this then? To apply the formula, what be S of 2n?
सर आंसर 6 आ रहा है क्या?
2n by 2 into 2a plus 2n minus 1d is equal to 3 times of n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d. So, n by 2 यहाँ पे cancel हो गया. So, this will end up becoming 4a plus 4nd minus 2d is equal to यहाँ पे आ जाएगा 6a plus 3nd minus 3d. So if we collect all the various terms together, this would be like writing 2a is equal to nd plus d, which is like n plus 1 d. Okay? Now we are looking for the value of s of 3n by sn. So s of 3n by sn would be 3n by 2 into 2a plus 3n minus 1 d divided by n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d. तो फिर से n by 2 तो cancel हो गया. Now we plug in the value of a from above, that 2a is n plus 1d. So this would be 3 times of n plus 1d plus 3n minus 1d divided by 2a की जगह पे आ गया n plus 1d plus n minus 1d. So इसमें dd cancel होके 4nd आ जाएगा. 3 into 4nd divided by 2nd. So this cancels off, this cancels off. The answer is 6. Yes, 6 indeed. Okay, next question. If A1, A2, A3 AN are in AP. Then find the value of 1 by root A1 plus root A2 plus 1 by root A2 plus root A3 going up till 1 by root over of AN minus 1 plus root over of AN. So the mechanism solving this question, if A1, A2, A3 are in AP, so we get that A2 minus A1 will be equal to D, but A2 minus A1 can be written as root over of A2 plus root over of A1 into root over of A2 minus root over of A1 is equal to D. So therefore 1 by root over of A2 plus root over of A1 का वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगा? Root A2 minus root A1 whole divided by D. ठीक है? This is very similar to a telescopic on the concept of telescopic sequence, which is essentially like we are trying to express the general term of the sequence as a difference of two related entities. Okay. So now we have to find the value of the expression. So the first expression will end up becoming 1 by D taken common, root A2 minus root A1 plus the second term A2 A3 wala identically we could say that 1 by root A2 plus root A3 would be root over of A3 minus root A2 divided by D. ठीक है ना? So यहाँ पे आ जाएगा root over of A3 minus root A2 plus root A4 minus root A3 going up till all the way root over of AN minus root over of AN minus 1, which is a telescopic sequence. So except for the term of the smallest value and the term of the largest value, everything gets cancelled off. So this would be 1 by D into root over of AN minus root over of A1. Okay. But we don't know the value of D, and D दिया भी नहीं है question में, so we need to eliminate D. So now to eliminate D, we look at this. AN minus A1 can be written as N minus 1 times D. Or if we apply the same concept, root over of AN plus root over of A1 into root over of AN minus root over of A1 is N minus 1D. Okay, so from here, what would be the value of root over of AN minus root over of A1 whole divided by D? N minus 1 by root over of AN plus root over of A1. So that is how we get the answer. The answer of this would be N by 1 divided by root over of AN plus root over of A1. Is everyone clear with this?
सर एक बार क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 वापस दिखाएंगे. ठीक है सर।
Okay, next question. For the two arithmetic progressions, S1 being 2, 7, 12, 17 up till 500 terms, and S2 being 1, 8, 15, 22 up till 300 terms. For the two APs, find the number of common terms in them. Find the number of common terms in the two. What was the property related to common terms in two APs? For the sequence of the common terms, how do we get the common difference? Is the LCM of D1 and D2? So which over here would be what? LCM of 5 and 17, 33.
5 and
So the sequence of the common terms would be like, acha, what is the first common term between the two?
22.
22. So 22, 22 plus 35. 57 and so on and so forth. फिर 35 करेंगे तो 92 आ जाएगा. This would be the sequence. But then how many terms would be over here? ये कैसे निकलेगा? So to find the number of common terms, what we do is we find the last term of the two given sequences. What would be the last term of S1? So 2 plus n minus 1 d. D का वैल्यू कितना था? 5.
2497.
Yeah, I got 2497. And then we find out the last term of S2. So that'll be 2 plus 300 minus 1. And इसके लिए the D is 7. So this would come out to be 299.
2094.
100 plus 100 minus 7 plus 2.
2094.
Okay. So now in the sequence of common terms, what is the largest possible common term?
209.
So therefore, the largest possible common term would be 2094. It's not like saying कि वो common term होगा ही, but it's like we are speculating that this would be the maximum possible. होएगा भी तो ये सबसे बड़ा होगा, otherwise से छोटा ही होगा. So in that case, we look at the number, we find out the LTN of this. So A plus n minus 1 D is 2094. That will give us n minus 1 as minus 22 by 35. So 20072 by 35.
सर लास्ट टर्म ऑफ S2 2095 है।
नहीं यार 2094 ही होगा।
नहीं सर 2094 ही है।
1 plus 300
ये
minus 1 into
59.2
7
something
होगा।
कुछ आएगा। But then obviously n minus 1 has to be an integer, तो 59.2 तो नहीं हो सकता। तो what would we take it as?
59।
We'll take it as 59, so that will give us n as 60. So what be the number of common terms between the two sequences? 60. There will be 60 common terms in the sequence of the common terms.
सर अगर ये 59.6 होता तो भी हम लोग 59 ही लेते हैं।
हाँ 59.6 होगा तो भी 59 ही लेंगे, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट टर्म तो आएगा नहीं ना, नेक्स्ट टर्म तो 60 पे होगा।
मतलब स्मॉल को अगर डेसिमल में आएगा तो उससे छोटा जो भी इंटीजर
तो
होगा
इमीडिएट
वो
लेफ्ट
लेंगे।
इंटीजर, बॉक्स वैल्यू इमीडिएट लेफ्ट इंटीजर करना है।
ठीक है।
Okay, then let's move on to the next question. Find the value of this sequence: 1 square minus 2 square plus 3 square minus 4 square plus 5 square going up till 99 square minus 2000 square. Find the sum of this sequence: 1 square minus 2 square plus 3 square minus 4 square plus 5 square minus 6 square. How do we solve this?
ऑड नंबर को एक साथ ले लेंगे, इवन को एक
So we
साथ।
do a square minus
Sir,
b square
2001 000.
सबको pairwise a square minus b square कर देंगे. So this would be a 1 plus 2 into minus 1 plus 3 plus 4 into minus 1 plus 5 plus 6 into a minus 1. So on so forth, going up till 1999 plus 2000 into minus 1. तो फिर सबका -1 कॉमन ले लिया and this ends up becoming 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 going up till 2000, which now is a very simple sum of the first 2000 natural numbers. So -1 into n plus 1 divided by 2 आ जाएगा. ठीक है ना? So the simple answer for this would be minus of 2001,000. Is everyone clear with this? Next question. If A, B, C are numbers in GP and A minus B, B minus C, sorry. A minus B, C minus A, and B minus C are in HP. Find the value of A plus 4B plus C. So since A, B, C are in GP, so we can take B as some AR and C as some AR square. And A minus B, B, C minus A, this being in HP implies 1 by A minus B, 1 by C minus A, 1 by B minus C is in AP. But if they are in AP, what is the condition for three numbers to be in AP? 2 by C minus A must be equal to 1 by A minus B plus 1 by B minus C. अब यहाँ पे सारा वैल्यू प्लग इन कर दो. So this is 2 by C हो गया AR square minus A must be equal to 1 by A minus AR plus
सर
1.
आंसर 0 है क्या?
हाँ 0 है. AR minus AR square. तो A तो सब जगह से कॉमन आके कैंसिल हो गया. And then simplify is at this. This would be 2R plus 1 into R minus 1 is 1 by 1 minus R plus 1 by R into 1 minus R. So R minus 1, 1 minus R, 1 minus R सब जगह से cancel हो गया, giving a minus behind. So we get minus 2 by R plus 1 is equal to 1 plus 1 by R. So it's like minus 2R is equal to R plus 1 whole square, which will give us R square plus 4R plus 1 is equal to 0. अब इस पूरे इक्वेशन में A मल्टीप्लाई कर दो. So AR square plus 4AR plus A is equal to 0. But AR square is like a C and AR is equal to B. Therefore, we get C plus 4B plus A is equal to 0.
सर यहाँ पर नेगेटिव कैसे आया?
यहाँ पे लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में R माइनस 1 था ना. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में R माइनस 1 है और राइट हैंड साइड पे 1 माइनस R है.
ओके.
Okay. So for this question, basically what we do is, since A, B, C are in GP, तो B को ले लेंगे AR, C को AR square, and since this expression is in HP, तो reciprocal आ गया AP में. But the condition for AP is if three numbers are in AP, then 2B is must be equal to A plus C. So we apply that 2B is equal to A plus C. So we get 2 by C minus A is 1 by A minus B plus 1 by B minus C. And then बस value plug in करके simplify. Okay, next. If A, B, C are in HP, then A by B plus C, B by C plus A, C by A plus B are in AP, GP, HP, none. So it's a very simple question based on the properties. No calculation needed in this. ठीक है, इसको calculations नहीं करना है. We'll just use properties, which is like If A, B, C are in HP, so this would imply 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C are in AP. But then that would imply that A plus B plus C by A plus B plus C by B, and A plus B plus C by C will also be in AP. Achha, why the second step?
क्योंकि डिनोमिनेटर में सम है,
डिनोमिनेटर में सम है?
मतलब नहीं, जो हम लोग को प्रूव करना है ए बाय बी प्लस सी, बी बाय
नहीं,
सी प्लस ए
वो
एंड सी
छोड़।
बाय।
मैं बोल रहा हूँ,
अच्छा,
हाउ डज 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C being AP imply that A plus B plus C by A plus B plus C by B, A plus B plus C by C would be in AP?
क्योंकि
ये
तीनों
यहां
को
से
सेम
यहां कैसे
नंबर,
आएगा?
तीनों को सेम वैल्यू से ऑल्टर किए हैं।
Because we have done this in properties of AP, that if all terms of an AP are multiplied by the same value, then the resulting sequence is also an AP. ठीक है ना? This was the second property that we had done for AP. If all terms of an AP are multiplied with the same value, so यहाँ पे 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C are in AP, and we multiply all the terms with the same value A plus B plus C, then the resulting sequence will also be in AP. ठीक है? Then this will imply that A plus B plus C by A minus 1, A plus B plus C by A by B, and A plus B plus C by C minus 1 will also be in AP. अच्छा, ये क्यों होगा? Same properties again. If the same value is subtracted from all terms of an AP, so यहाँ पे this is in AP, from all the terms we do a minus 1. If a same value is subtracted from all the terms in AP, the resulting sequence is still an AP. ठीक है ना? We are using the properties. So अब इसको LCM लेके solve करेंगे, तो this becomes a B plus C by A. This becomes A plus C by B. And ये हो जाएगा एक A plus B by C are in AP. But if these values are in AP, what will happen to the reciprocal?
HP.
So the answer is the values are in HP. Okay, next question. 7. If A, B, C, D are 4 numbers in GP, then 1 by A cube plus B cube, 1 by B cube plus C cube, 1 by C cube plus D cube are in AP, GP, HP, none.
Sir, GP.
Okay, how would that be?
सर हम तो ABCD को AR वैसे कर दीजिए.
क्या चीज किया?
सर A को पहला टर्म लिया, B को AR, C को AR स्क्वायर, D को AR क्यूब वैसे
हाँ
कर
सही है, तो
दीजिए.
वैसे ही तो करना है. Since A B C D are in GP, तो A को AR कर लेंगे, C is AR square, D is AR cube. ठीक है. So in that case, A cube plus B cube होगा A cube plus A cube R cube, which is like A cube taken common, 1 plus R cube, B cube plus C cube. So B cube plus C cube would be like A cube R cube plus A cube R power 6. तो ये A cube R cube 1 plus R cube हो गया. And C cube plus D cube would be A cube R power 6 plus A cube R power 9, which is again like A cube R power 6 taken common, 1 plus R cube. Okay. So from this set of values, what can we say about A cube plus B cube, B cube plus C cube, and C cube plus D cube? They are in
GP.
GP. देखो भाई, इन दोनों का रेशियो और इन दोनों का रेशियो सेम है. ठीक है, द रेशियो इज R cube. So now if we have a set of numbers which are in GP, so what will happen to the reciprocal numbers? One by A cube B cube, 1 by B cube C cube, 1 by C cube plus D cube. If a set of numbers are in GP, what would happen to the reciprocal series?
Also GP.
Reciprocal of a GP is also a GP. Remember, if all the terms are raised to the same power, the resulting sequence is still a GP. तो इसमें power -1 कर दो. So the reciprocal of a GP is also a GP. Is anyone clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next question number 8. If X is defined as summation 0 to infinity a to the power r, Y is defined as summation 0 to infinity b to the power r, and Z is defined as summation 0 to infinity c to the power r, then given that A, B, C are in AP, then X, Y, Z are in same AP, GP, HP. AP, GP, HP, none. Mod A is less than 1, mod B is less than 1, mod C is less than 1.
सर HP।
Okay, so we solve this one as this. Now, a power r with summation 0 to infinity will basically end up becoming the sum of an infinite series. देखो x would be like r को 0 करेंगे तो 1 plus a square going up till infinity. And what's the sum of an infinite GP? A by 1 minus r. So x would be 1 by 1 minus a. Y similarly would be 1 minus 1 by b, and z similarly would be 1 by 1 minus c. Now, given that ABC is in AP, what be the sequence of 1 minus a, 1 minus b, 1 minus c, 1 by? So if A, B, C are in AP, this would imply that minus a, minus b, minus c will also be in AP, multiplying the whole thing with a negative sign, -1. And this would imply 1 minus a, 1 minus b, 1 minus c is also in AP, adding 1 to all the terms. But if 1 minus a, 1 minus b, 1 minus c is in AP, what will happen to x, y, z?
G.
X, Y, Z would
Sorry,
be in
HP.
HP. Reciprocal of an AP is HP. Okay, question 9. If 1 plus x, 1 plus x square, 1 plus x power 4 multiplied up till 1 plus x to the power 128 is summation going from 0 to n x to the power r, find n. How do we simplify the left hand side? To simplify the left hand side, we multiply and divide by 1 minus x. So this would be 1 minus x into 1 plus x into 1 plus x square into 1 plus x power 4, going up till 1 plus x power 128, whole divided by 1 minus x. Now, the reason why we do this is because this will actually start a chain reaction in the following form. What will happen to 1 minus x into 1 plus x? 1 minus x square.
1 minus x square.
But then this 1 minus x square will club with 1 plus x square, will generate a 1 minus x power 4.
1 minus x 4.
Now that 1 minus x power 4 will club with this 1 plus x power 4, will create a 1 minus x power 8. And this is how it continues. And ऐसे ये पूरा simplify होके finally क्या आएगा?
1 minus x power 128.
1 minus x
Oh.
to the power 256. क्योंकि इसके पहले का टर्म यहाँ पे 1 minus x to the power 128 आएगा, which will get clubbed with this by 1 minus x is equal to, okay, and RHS. How do we simplify the RHS? So x power r going from 0 to n. What kind of a sequence will this represent? First term, r को 0 किया, 1, plus the second term would be r1 plus x square going up till x power n, because the final power is n. Now this represents a GP. So what be the value of this? A into 1 minus x to the power number of terms. What's the number of terms of the sequence right hand side? Can anyone tell me the number of terms on the right hand side? The GP of the right hand side?
N plus 1.
The number of terms is n plus 1 by 1 minus x. It's a very common silly mistake. यहाँ पे n देख के x power n कर दोगे, but then please do remember the sequence is starting from 0. So 0 to n is n plus 1 terms. So now comparing both the sides, what can we conclude? N plus 1 must be 256. Therefore, n is 255. That would be the answer. Is everyone clear with this? Okay. Okay. Then let's discuss a new topic. Pyramid sequences. Let's discuss a new topic, pyramid sequences. So what are pyramid sequences? So pyramid sequences is basically nothing different, but let's suppose we are given a sequence of numbers in this form. Okay. We have a sequence of numbers arranged as a pyramid. Now, what do you mean by sequence of numbers arranged as pyramid? Suppose we have a sequence of numbers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on. Okay. So if we arrange a set of numbers like this, what do they look like? They look like a pyramid. ठीक है ना? So if a sequence of numbers is arranged in rows, the first row is 1, this would be the first row. Okay, this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row, and so on so forth. Then we call it as a pyramid sequence. Okay. So suppose we have the natural numbers arranged in the pyramid sequence, arranged as a pyramid sequence. Now, question for this sequence, the question to be here. Okay, part A. Find the first term of the nth row. If natural numbers are arranged like this, what would be the first term of the nth row?
Sir, n square minus n plus 2 by 2.
Let's see. So for the first part, this would be like, if you look at all the first terms, they are like 1, 2, 4, 7, 11, 16. This would be the various first terms that we have. Can anyone identify a pattern between them?
Increasing.
So difference are in AP.
Good. This is a difference series of AP. ठीक है ना? The difference between these two is 1. यहाँ पे 2, यहाँ पे 3, यहाँ पे 4, यहाँ पे 5. So difference series of AP. Now we are asked to find out the first term of the nth row. So what can we say would the first term of the nth row be? Can we say that the first term of the nth row would be the nth term of the difference series? Is anyone able to follow this? If anyone has any issues in this statement, please do ask, because this is basically the whole part, the concept of this whole thing is based on.
चलिए वापस समझें।
देख, if we create a sequence of all the first terms 1 2 4 7 11, so what do we observe in this sequence? That it's a different series of AP. अब if we keep on writing the first terms, तो यहाँ का जो nth term होगा वो कहाँ से आएगा? The nth term of this would be the first term of the nth row. वहीं से आएगा. First term of the nth row would be the nth term of the different series.
ठीक है।
Clear है?
हाँ।
And for a different series, how do we find Tn? We apply the method of differences. So Sn create करेंगे 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus 11 going up till Tn. Then we rewrite Sn, shifting all terms one place to the right. Tn minus 1 plus Tn. Then subtract the whole thing. So when we subtract the whole thing, ये आ जाएगा 0 is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 going up till Tn minus 1, and ये minus होके उतर जाएगा as Tn. फिर Tn will switch over. This would be 1 plus. Okay. From here till here, this would be an AP whose first term is 1. Common difference is 1. And what is the number of terms? N minus 1. So n minus 1 by 2 into 2 plus n minus 2 into 1. यह आ जाएगा n minus 1 by 2 into 2 plus n minus 2. तो ये 2 cancel हो गया. And this will end up becoming 2 plus n square minus n whole divided by 2. So this would be what we get for the first term of the nth row. Was everyone able to understand this? The first term of the nth row would be n square minus n plus 2 whole divided by 2. Was everyone able to understand this?
Yes.
Okay. Next question of this then. Find the sum of all terms in the nth row. Same question. Same sequence के लिए. Find the sum of all the terms in the nth row.
सर एन क्यूब प्लस वन, नहीं एन क्यूब प्लस एन बाई टू।
So if we talk about the nth row, what would be the nature of the sequence of terms? The numbers in the nth row would be in AP. देखो ये clear है क्या? With common difference 1, ये भाई sequence of natural numbers है. And first term तो अपने निकाल ही चुके हैं. That first term of this would be a n square minus n plus 2 by 2. So in that case, what would be the sum of n terms of the AP? And the nth row, since it's the nth row, the number of terms in the nth row would be n. भाई फर्स्ट रो में एक टर्म है, सेकंड रो में दो टर्म है, थर्ड रो में तीन टर्म्स है, तो nth रो में n टर्म्स होगा. So Sn for the nth row will become n by 2 into 2a. तो n square minus n plus 2, 2 कैंसिल हो गया यहाँ पे, प्लस n minus 1 d, and d is 1. तो ये बेसिकली 1 ही कर लो इसको. तो ये आ जाएगा. तो ये n और ये n कैंसिल हो गया, which will give us n cube. Yeah, we can just keep it as n into n square plus 1 whole divided by 2. This would be the sum of the n terms of the nth row. Was anyone able to follow this?
यस सर।
Acha, next part of this, next question in this. In which row will the value or will the number, in which row will the number 1000 lie? In which row will the number 1000 lie? Now 1000 is a randomly chosen number. We could actually do it for any number. In which row will this number lie?
सर एक तो पहला वाला इक्वेशन में पुट करके देख,
Hmm?
तो पहला वाला टीएन वाला इक्वेशन है उसमें पुट करके देख।
क्लियर कर चुके हैं?
सर जो पहला में इक्वेशन आया था ना, फर्स्ट वाला पार्ट में,
फर्स्ट
उसमें
टर्म वाला
1000
इक्वेशन,
का।
फर्स्ट टर्म वाला.
हाँ,
हाँ, उसको क्या करेंगे?
तो उसमें टीएन की जगह 1000 लगा देंगे और फिर एन का वैल्यू।
नहीं, पर 1000 किसी रो का फर्स्ट टर्म ही हो ये तो जरूरी नहीं है भाई. 1000 बीच में भी तो कहीं हो सकता है.
Sir, 45.
Okay, so the logic of doing this is we do it in this form. In the first row, we have one term. In the second row, we have two terms. So by this end of the second row, we have already accommodated three terms. Now the third row has three terms. So at the end of the third row, we have accommodated six terms. This would be the fourth row. So by the end of the fourth row, we have accommodated 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 10 terms. ये समझ में आ रहा है? And in this way, the nth row will have covered for itna terms. And if this value is greater than equal to 1000, we want this value to be greater than equal to 1000. Tab the smallest value of n satisfying this relation will be the row in which 1000 lie. Will be the row in which the number lies. Okay. So basically what we are doing is we are trying to find कि किस row का last term will exceed 1000 for the first time. Exceed 1000 for the first time. Okay. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is n into n plus 1 by 2. And we want this to be greater than equal to 1000. और n into n plus 1. अब इसको quadratic बना के solve नहीं करेंगे. Hit and try से solve करेंगे. Greater than equal to 2000. So n and n plus 1 are like two consecutive integers. So tell me what would be the smallest pair of consecutive integers such that their product is greater than 2000. So 30 into 31 will be 930 into 30 is 900. So 30 into 31 would be 930. पर 2000 जाना है और बड़ा सोचना होगा. 50 into 50 would be 2500. छोटा होगा 40 into 40 would be 1600. थोड़ा बड़ा करना है. 45 into 45. 45 into 45 is 2025. थोड़ा सा छोटा आना होगा. So 44 into 45 करते हैं. 44 into 45. हाँ ये हो जाएगा. 44 into 45 is 1920. 1980. And 45 into 45 is 45 into 46 is 2070. So when will n into n plus 1? What will be the smallest n for which this exceeds 2000? 45. Okay. The smallest n which satisfies the inequality is 45. Therefore, 1000 will lie in the 45th row. Does everyone understand the last part of C? Is C clear? Confusion तो नहीं है ना C में?
नहीं सर.
Okay, so let's say एक और try करते हैं of a similar pattern just to ensure that everyone is on, all of us are on the same page. So next question. Suppose we have a sequence of numbers like this: 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay. Then 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, so on and so forth. We have a pyramid sequence of this form. Now the question is, find the value of the 511th term. Find the value of the 511th term. If we write it like this, the 511th term that we write, what would be the value of that term? या चलो 511 हटा के थोड़ा सा राउंड ऑफ कर देते हैं, 500 टर्म निकाल लो, सो दैट योर ये राउंड ऑफ वैल्यू रहेगा. चलो जस्ट फॉर यू 500 कर लो, राउंड ऑफ.
मतलब 500 रो में कौन सा टर्म होगा?
नहीं, 500 टर्म का क्या वैल्यू होगा?
ओके,
ठीक है ना. जैसे 1 फर्स्ट टर्म है, सेकंड टर्म 2 है, थर्ड टर्म 2 है, फोर्थ टर्म 4 है, फिफ्थ टर्म 4 है, सिक्स टर्म 4 है. तो ऐसे करके if we write down 500 terms of this in this particular sequence, what would be the value of it?
Two to the power 31.
So in order to find the value of the 500 term, what we would first have to do is figure out which row does it lie in. Okay, which row does this lie in? So we do it in the same way. First term में 1 term है, second row में 2 terms है, third row में 3 terms है, fourth row में 4 terms है, fifth row has 5 terms. So n into n plus 1 by 2 is greater than equal to 500. The smallest value of n that satisfies this. And we need the smallest n satisfying the relation. That's again like n into n plus 1 is greater than 1000. So what be the first smallest value of n that satisfies this relation? (31 into 32).
32 and 33.
Yeah, 32 into 33.
32 into 33 is that.
31 into 32 would be 992. In that case, 32 into 33 will exceed the first 1000. तो यहाँ से n आ जाएगा 32. That is to say that the fifth 100 term will lie in the 32nd row. Lie in the 32nd row. And if it lies in the 32nd row, what would be the value? So with the number of rows,
32nd
how is the value changing over
term.
here?
तो जीपी में है. कॉमन रेशियो 2।
जीपी है, कॉमन रेशियो 2 है, तो फर्स्ट टर्म 1 इंटू 2 टू द पावर आर माइनस 1, तो आर को 32 डाल दो, so this would be 2 to the power 31. The value of the 500 term would be 2 to the power 31. Was everyone able to understand the logic of pyramid sequences?
ये 31 इंटू 32 फिर 32 इंटू 33 करके आप कैसे चेक किए एक बार फिर बता देंगे।
क्या विराज?
ये साइड में जब 31 इंटू 32 और ये 32 इंटू 33 करके जो एन का वैल्यू निकाल रहे हैं वो कैसे निकालने का फिर से बता देंगे।
ये तो हिट एंड ट्रायल है ना, 1000 चाहिए, 1000 के आसपास का। देख, n इंटू n प्लस 1 इज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू कंसेक्यूटिव इंटीजर्स, तो प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू कंसेक्यूटिव इंटीजर्स 1000 के आसपास का चाहिए, तो हिट एंड ट्रायल ही हो गया। 31 इंटू 32, 32 इंटू 33, हिट एंड ट्रायल कर रहे हैं यार ये तो। ऑब्जर्वेशन, मतलब यू आर डूइंग इट विद ऑब्जर्वेशन।
सर
हम्म, बोलो।
नहीं हो गया सर, ठीक।
अच्छा, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। So this is the pyramid sequences, and then let's go back to basic questions. Question: if A, B, C are positive real numbers in HP, then 1 by B minus A plus 1 by B minus C is equal to, you have to find the value of this. A is 2 by A, 2 by B, 2 by C, none. So if A, B, C are in HP, so 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C would be in AP, which implies 1 by B minus 1 by A is 1 by B minus 1 by C. Sorry. Uh, 1 by C minus 1 by B. तो ये हो जाएगा A minus B by AB is equal to B minus C by BC. तो यहाँ पे B और B कैंसिल हो गया. So we get that B minus C by A is चलो ठीक है. A minus B by A is B minus C by C. And 1 minus B minus A, 1 by B minus C का वैल्यू चाहिए. So say A B minus A. So from here we can say that B minus A is going to be like a C minus B into A by C. इसको यहाँ पे plug in कर दिया. So 1 by B minus A plus 1 by B minus C. So this would be B minus A की जगह पे आ जाएगा C by C minus B into A plus 1 by B minus C, which is like writing B minus C times A with a यहाँ पे आ जाएगा minus C और यहाँ पे आ जाएगा plus A. So that's A minus C by B minus C times A. अब A minus C by B minus C का वैल्यू चाहिए. So if 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C are in AP, so 1 by B is 1 by A plus D, and 1 by C is 1 plus A plus 2D. So 1 by C minus 1 by A is 2D. So A minus C by AC is 2D. And यहाँ से आ जाएगा B minus A by AB is D. तो और B minus C चाहिए ना. तो 1 by B is 1 by B plus D. तो ये C और का रिलेशन है, या C और A का रिलेशन है. So this would be B minus C by BC is equal to D. तो इन दोनों को डिवाइड कर देंगे, तो A minus C by B minus C into इसका C आएगा, इसका A आएगा, और इसका वैल्यू हो जाएगा 2. So this whole thing is A minus C by B minus C is 2 by C. So that will be the answer. 2 by C. ये नीचे. Like, was anyone able to understand the question? Solution समझ में आया? Okay. So okay, then we'll stop at this for today. I hope everyone was able to understand the various questions that we have discussed. And
सर ये पीडीएफ आप ग्रुप में भेज देंगे.
हाँ चैतन्य बोलो.
सर आप जी पीडीएफ ग्रुप में भेज देंगे एक बार.
हाँ, I'll share इसका PDF भी, and I'll share the link of this video as well, so you don't have to worry about it. ठीक है? Okay. Now we are finished with sequence and series at all the centers. So the coming week we'll be starting off with quadratic equations at all the centers. ठीक है ना? So gear up for that. Hello, I'll see you all in the classes. Good night, everyone.
Good night, sir.